is, I'm going to skip, is a small publisher. Now, small publisher, we would call it a mini-me. They're a mini-me. Maybe they wanted to be big, but they're small. And some of them just had a desire to write, and they didn't want to have to deal with a major publisher. So they started their own publishing business because they just had a desire to do that. Some of them grew a business, they wanted to grow a niche. And perhaps they wanted to focus on poetry or certain elements. They could do that. So they did that. You can talk to them. My first book, I worked with a small publisher out of Oak Ridge. You can go, I called them up on the phone. I didn't need an agent. Just go talk to them. A lot of them you can negotiate, but most times their royalties is about the same, 5 to 15%. But you can go talk to them. You can negotiate with them. Another good thing about them that they're accessible. What are the negative things about them? They're small. So their distribution may not be the same. You may not ever get on over. You may never. They say, well, if you pay half, I'll pay half, and we'll put you on a book tour to Clinton, Tennessee. So, because they don't have the same kind of operating budgets, but you had a relationship. The third one I'm going to mention, and I hope you never do this one, is called a vanity press. And what does the word vanity mean? Anybody? Vanity. When I say vanity, what does vanity mean?
Ego.
Ego. This is about you. So vanity press is sort of like the ego thing. And they take advantage of that. Vanity, how do you find a vanity press? First of all, they're the dog sheep of the publishing world. How do you find them? You can look in the phone book on the publishing. They'll have an 800 number. You can look in the back of the magazines. They have an 800 number. You know what? They'll publish you. They'll publish you. They'll publish you. They'll publish anybody. They have a notorious of being scams. One of my friends who's in the publishing business told of a lady who gave a vanity press $10,000 and for 500 books. So how long do you think it's going to take her to return on investment? It's going to be a long time before she may ever get her money back. So that's why you have to do your homework. And I have again, I'll give you some examples. Writer's Mark is a reputable place to find small and large publishers. So that's the third way. The other one, for those that are in academics, Dr. Hickes, one of the things we have to worry about is, the ways that you get published. And there are another way, it's called academic publishing. They're non-profits, they're not for profit, but they're non-profits. Like the University of Tennessee has a press. The University of Chicago has a press. And they publish items that maybe not popular, that there's not a market for, but that the academic richness is worth publishing for. You still have to negotiate. You don't need an agent, but you still have to do things with them. And I'm not going to go into detail about that. The other two I want to talk about is on there is self-publishing. So self-publishing, we talk about self-publishing, it's about you doing it. Now we talk about a major publisher, they're doing the editing, they're doing any indexing on the book, they're doing any book design, they're doing the promotions, they're doing the publishing. They're doing the whole game printing. When you self-publish, you take all it on for yourself. It could be very daunting for you. So now, you heard all these things I said. Now, with the internet, I'm going to tell you forget what I just said, okay? I'm going to talk about a couple of things that really don't make sense, but it's work. Let's go back to self-publishing. They're what we call publishing portals. Publishing portals, you might want to write this down. One example would be outskirtspress.com, iuniverse.com, and it's Libris is spelled XLIBRIS.com. Now this is kind of unique because they'll publish you, and what they do, they'll take, you send them a Word file. Everything now is electronic, so you send them a Word file, and they will design a book for you. This book was done by iUniverse. I think I paid $200 for this, to do this. They designed the book for you. They warehouse the book electronically. And anywhere across the world can get your book. This thing for $200. You know, they were doing all the design. Now this is like $700 or $800. They recognize that. But this was a reputable place because Barnes & Noble's on this particular company. So they're like a vanity press in that they will publish anybody, but that the cost is so low and that they're with established individuals. The whole term, there's a technology called print on demand. In the old days, we would have a traditional printing press, and we would do a run, and 5,000 books, 10,000 books. We would use a physical press. This whole term, print on demand, is they have Xerox and IBM came up with these machines, and in some milliseconds, books like this would be printed out. So you can print, it comes to scale. You print 5,000 books, one book, per book is like 50 cents. You print one book's $100 in the old format. In the new format, print on demand, I print one book, the cost to me is $3. I print 20,000 books, it's still $3. So there's an advantage in doing that. So if you got a market, you don't have to print no 5,000 books. You can only print 300 books or so. Just what you need. And so you have a lot of individuals that are doing this and growing their niches, building their clientele. Now, I mentioned that, so in dealing with a publishing portal, you pay a certain price. You might pay a couple $1,000, but they'll do everything for you. Something else happened. Something else happened in that there was another business model that was developed. I don't know what to call it, but it's also self-publishing. It empowers the worker. There are two websites you need to know. One is lulu.com. Anybody heard of lulu.com? Tell me about lulu.com. Lulu.com is a website that is built for entrepreneurs, deal for people who want to get the information out. Now, if you have enough commitment, it doesn't cost you anything except for your time. On lulu.com, you can make ebooks or digital versions of books. You can do paperback books. You can do hardback books. You can do CDs. You can do children's books. So there's an unlimited array of information that you do. It doesn't cost you anything except because they charge you $5. You charge the customer $10. So what does it cost you? There's virtually no cost in that model. Another good thing about that is that you can get it distributed across the world. And really, initially, for self-publishing, the issue was, who's going to take me? How am I going to get my book into the market? I'm not big, but in the 21st century, your book can be all across the world.